Yeah, good morning. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with me, Jeff Selling, Ali McCoy, and our good friends at Arnold Clark. It's £750 off any used electric car or home charger. Interesting line on the news there, wasn't it? That Russell Martin would be welcome back at Southampton. Southampton fans, if you're listening, 03717 223344. Will still sacked at the weekend. Would you welcome Russell Martin back as the Saints manager? Ian, who's a Newcastle fan, just to balance things up, said, please ignore keyboard warriors regarding Eddie Howe. Any Newcastle fan saying Eddie Howe is under pressure is talking nonsense. We've had a few poor results after an extremely turbulent summer, yet only 2 wins away from fourth place. And I think that's dead right, Ian. You know, it was a very turbulent summer indeed. I don't think anybody realistically thinks Eddie Howe is under pressure or wants him to be either. Koisty, what do you think about that? Russell Martin back to Southampton?
That would stagger me. I mean, we mentioned Gary O'Neill. Yeah. It would absolutely stagger me, that, Jeff. I mean, surely that can't happen, can it? Surely.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Look, we shall see. I mean, I think the writing was on the wall for Poole. Will still, you know, he's only had a dozen league games or 13 league games or whatever, but and lost home to Preston at the weekend, but I just don't see Russell Martin coming back. And now it's our biggest competition yet. Time is running out. Just under a week to go. The line's closed for your chance to play to win up to £100,000 completely tax-free. If you're the lucky winner getting the call this Thursday, you'll be heading to the talkSPORT Towers on the 13th of November to play for that life-changing cash prize. Here's how to enter, and of course, good luck.
18 plus UK excluding Northern Ireland. For a chance to win, text the word cash to 83338 and you're in the draw. Text costs £2 plus one standard network rate message. You must have the bill payer's permission, or you can enter for free by calling 0330 880 3338. All entries must be received by the 6th of November at 4 p.m. This is a talkSPORT limited promotion run on talkSPORT, Talk and Virgin Radio UK stations. Full terms and conditions at talksport.com.
Yeah, as I said, the very best of luck to you. Now, another Monday, another Arsenal win, another clean sheet. The Gunners sitting 6 points clear at the top of the table, but manager Mikel Arteta's not popping the champagne just yet.
Well, game by game, you know how tough it is. Every single game, you have to really earn it. It's just the beginning. It's a really good moment at the moment, and we have to maintain it, which is always very difficult.
Well, they're not making it look difficult at the moment, Koisty.
No. I mean, I think they've hardly put a foot wrong. I was going to wind you up, say, very easy on the eye. But in all seriousness, defensively really sound. And they've got match winners in their team. And they've been, even the game they lost at Liverpool, you could argue they're a little bit unlucky to lose that. And it was a absolutely wonderful goal that beat them that day. They have looked really solid, comfortable. And yeah, I mean, it's still a little bit early to be getting carried away, but they've got to have real belief. The supporters have got to have real belief this year, Jeff. That's a certainty.
Well, let's find out from one of them, shall we? Broadcaster and Arsenal fan, Harry Symeou. Morning, Harry.
Morning, guys. How you doing?
Yeah, we're good. So, look, Harry, put your hand on your heart, you know. Do you already think the title's in the bag?
No, I don't. But I do feel like what was hope at the start of the season has probably turned into expectation now. But I'm not taking anything for granted. You know, Manchester City are only 6 points behind, Liverpool 7 points behind, and we've seen those kind of leads eaten into in previous Premier League seasons. So this idea that sort of 10, 11 games in, you can sit there and say the title's done is crazy to me. But as I say, there is an expectation around Arsenal right now. And I think the scariest thing for everybody else is that Arsenal aren't even at their best yet. And I legitimately believe that. You think about the defensive side of the game, and I'd argue, yes, you know, they're at the top of their powers, but you look in the attacking end of the pitch and they've still got so many key attacking players missing. There's no Odegaard, there's no Havertz, there's no Madueke, there's no Martinelli at the moment. Gabriel Jesus will return at some point. So I think for Arsenal, you know, there's this expectation now, but there's also a belief within the fan base that, yes, we're doing amazingly well, but there's still so much more to come. There's still so much more Arsenal can do in an attacking sense. And if that clicks as well, then you fear for the rest of the league, don't you?
Harry, I don't necessarily disagree with you. I've got to say, I have been really impressed with Arsenal, and I think particularly in forward areas, there probably is more to come. But so far this season, tell me, what do you think the difference has been?
It's really difficult to put your finger on it because obviously the central defensive pairing is the same, the goalkeeper's the same. I think the levels hit by Calafiori and Timber in the two fullback positions have been incredible, and not just in a defensive capacity, especially Riccardo Calafiori. You know, the way he gets forward, the way he joins in with the front line sometimes, goes in field, goes on the outside, very, very difficult to pick up. And you know, Timber's level has increased as well. And I didn't think that was possible at the end of last season, to be honest, because he was as solid as a rock. But he's added something more to his game now. And where we were once debating whether it should be Timber or White at right back, I don't think there's any debate at this moment in time.
Yeah.
Timber's been outstanding at both ends of the pitch. And so I think the fullbacks have really made a difference. I think Martin Zubimendi's given Arsenal something different in midfield in terms of the way he progresses the ball nice and early. And I think, you know, people have been on his back at points, but I think Victor Gyökeres has just added another dynamic to Arsenal's attack. The runs in behind, the stretching of people. You know, he's got 6 goals now as well, most of which have been sort of tap-ins from close range, goals that maybe Arsenal don't score prior to his arrival.
Look, it's his movement is absolutely fantastic, and I think you did right, Harry. It gives you a completely different dimension. Been so much talk this weekend, hasn't there, about Moises Caicedo, and rightly so, because he was brilliant at Tottenham at the weekend. But I have to mention, Harry, Declan Rice, whose all-round performance was just sensational. I mean, Mikel Arteta said afterwards, he said he won I don't know how many balls and tackles, which he did, but he was also brilliant going forward and got a fantastic goal. What a player.
Yeah, I mean, I rate Moises Caicedo, but there's not a player in the world right now that I would swap Declan Rice for in that position, just because he's so all-encompassing. You know, a few weeks ago when on international duty, Declan Rice mentioned that Mikel Arteta had tweaked his position. And a couple of weeks after that, Arteta came out in a press conference and said, I disagree with that. I haven't changed his position. What I've done is demanded more from him in terms of his all-round game. And when you look at the game against Burnley, and I know there'll be people that say it's only Burnley, but in terms of the way he sort of dominates defensively, the way he can eat up ground around him, that also really platforms Zubimendi to go and play his game without maybe some of his weaknesses being exposed. But Rice's ability to get into the box these days, to score goals, to deliver top quality set pieces, it's shown him in a much better light. And I think he is now a player that you can trust in every single phase of the game.
What do you think, Harry? Just a quick one about Chiesa, because I watched him at the start, and I'm looking at Arsenal, and I've got to be honest, I wasn't that keen on him playing in a wider position. I just think he's out of things, and he's got to be more central and be more involved. How have you found him since he's come to the club? Obviously, a great goal last week as well.
Yeah, I think he's been good without being outstanding. I think there's still more to come from him. I agree with you that wide positions probably don't work as well for him in a team like Crystal Palace, but maybe at Arsenal that might be the way to just get him a bit more time on the ball, because when we face a low block, they tend to shut down those central areas, and I think he's found it hard at times to get on the ball as much as we'd like him to. That passing lane always seems to be cut off, but when the ball breaks to him on the edge of the box, as you've seen on multiple occasions, he will take a shot on, and he just plays the role for me, Ali, in a really different way to Martin Odegaard. And a bit like there was an adjustment when Gyökeres came in and started playing in a different way. I think we're still going through that with Eze as a central player, but I'm not worried about him coming good. We know the quality's there. We know he's capable of hitting those levels, and I think it's only a matter of time before he really sort of catches the eye as well. I mean, he has at times, but I think on a more consistent basis.
Yeah, he's a great player. He'll definitely start to catch the eye
no
more
doubt,
often.
no doubt.
And by the way, Man City, Liverpool next weekend, somebody's going to drop points there. It's all going the Gunners' way. Harry, thank you very much indeed.
Thanks, Harry.
Yes, guys, have a good day.
Thank you very much.
Too.
You too, yeah. Arsenal's next game, of course, tomorrow night in the Champions League, away at Slavia Prague. You can hear it live on talkSPORT 2 from 5:45. Right, still to come on breakfast.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Download the new improved app to easily manage your accounts and quotes.
We will be joined by a man who did this on the world's biggest stage.
And it's cleared, but only as far as Joe Cole. Hits it up into the air, goes for the spectacular, and it's in. What an unbelievable goal from Joe Cole, 35 yards out.
Yeah, Joko will be with us live in the studio for an hour at just after 9 o'clock. And that was our look ahead with Travis Perkins.